Thanks so much for making me a part of your time this morning. Remember, the bulletin is live on DSTV channel 279. We are streaming across the world on Facebook at TV3 Ghana. My name is Godwin Asideba. Leader of New Force Movement and independent presidential aspirant, Nana Kwame Bediako, has promised to prioritize industrialization and education if given the mandate as president of Ghana. Outlining his vision for the country at the launch of his manifesto, Nana Kwame Bediako noted that he will build Ghana on 12 pillars for economic freedom and create 800,000 jobs in each region as president.
We are determined to bring out every region's wealth. So as you can see, we have searched every region inside out and realized what sort of wealth that can be created there and projected it in the next 10 years. Ghana will have an economic output at 4.7 trillion with the 13 million hectares of arable lands and all these minerals. We will also create 8 million jobs in a decade. As you can already see, 800,000 jobs per year within these 16 regions.
The New Force leader also promised to run the country with 12 ministers, the leanest number of ministers promised by any of the political parties ahead of the 2024 elections.
The apostolic governance, the 12 ministries. Apostolic governance, it's a title, it's some title right here, but it's the 12 ministries. They say less is more. Our government will be the leanest, most efficient in the history of African politics. We present to you the apostolic governance, 1 president, 12 ministers. Create a lean government that will be responsible for the 12 pillars.
Away from your election command center, the police are investigating a man who vandalized the monument of the Big Six located at the airport runabout in Accra. After causing damage to the monument, the suspect also destroyed several signposts in the area. My colleague Christian Yali reports that this unsettling incident has raised security concerns, with many describing it as a red flag.
The incident is reported to have occurred around 3 a.m. on Saturday, August 31st. Some individuals witnessed a man destroying the statue of the Big Six and reported it to the police. Upon visiting the scene, we found that the monument had been vandalized, with no intact statues remaining. The broken pieces of the statue and some blocks were scattered around, leaving the iron rods exposed. The suspect is also reported to have destroyed several signposts at the airport roundabout.
Barely would you hear of a story such as this, but just to cast your mind back a little, the Big Six are leaders who are part of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, a political party that was formed to advocate self-government. For some commentators, though, they believe that this really tells the story that people are not happy with the country. Probably one of the reasons for which this gentleman was able or could even consider doing such a thing like this.
The motive behind this act is unknown, but the suspect, identified as Niwok Gavu, is in police custody and will face the due process of the law. During our visit, we found a pair of sandals which presumably belonged to the suspect, left at the scene during the arrest. The monument is gone and will require significant resources to replace. Some have raised concerns about the potential security implications this incident may bring. Christian Yale, TV3 News.
What exactly could be the reason? We'll definitely keep an eye on this and follow it subsequently. Properties worth millions of Ghana cedis have been destroyed in a fire outbreak at Accra Zongo Lane on Sunday morning. The fire, which started in one warehouse, spread to many other warehouses and shops belonging to both locals and foreign nationals due to the unavoidable presence of a fire tender.
The fire began around 11 a.m. Sunday. Personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service arrived at the scene, bringing some hope that the blaze could be brought under control. However, despite their presence, the fire service personnel struggled as the fire continued to spread across many other warehouses. A fire ladder was urgently needed, but the only available one was based in Tema, leaving the fire personnel with no choice but to watch the fire spread.
The challenge is about the pressure in the fire tenders. It's not able to get to the level of the fire, and the fire personnel are trying their best, but their best has not been enough as the fire keeps moving from one story building to the other story building. The residents here and the market women, warehouse owners are not happy. They are so angry. It's taking the police to calm them down, whilst other people seems to be trying to take advantage of the situation.
Foreign nationals at the scene were left helplessly observing the situation. Some individuals took advantage of the chaos to gather items from the affected properties. The situation became tense as they had a difficult time managing the onlookers. Shop owners were forced to relocate their goods as the fire continued to spread.
Fabrics, that's of school uniforms and rider materials and other things.
The fire is not anything. They can't do anything about this one. The machine is not well.
Fire service are not trying at all on this building. From the first floor, before first floor self, they are here. They are not doing anything.
Don't do anything.
The ladder, before they carry the ladder down, over 30 minutes before the ladder come down from the bus, from their trailer.
The immediate cause of the fire is yet to be determined. Joseph Armstrong, Good at TV3, Accra.
Our team will be visiting the site this morning to get to know how the place looked like a day after the fire outbreak. Some 9,855 farmers have been affected by this year's dry spell at Lambusie in the Upper West region. Correspondent Ibrahim Wangara has more.
After a prolonged dry spell that affected northern Ghana this season, many farmers are still counting their losses. Maize, rice, groundnut, yam, millet, and sorghum crops in the Lambusie district have been significantly impacted, according to data from the District Agricultural Department. Out of a total of 28,980 hectares cultivated in the Lambusie district, 17,160 hectares are affected, raising concerns about potential food insecurity in the upcoming harvest season. The dry spell severely impacted crop germination across the district, with various crops recording germination rates as low as 20 to 50%. District Director of Agriculture, Nabie Nathaniel, has provided more insight into the impact in the area.
And the total area of cultivation for maize is about 10,000 hectares. And out of these 10,000 hectares, about 7,000 of these farms have been affected, making about 2,000 farmers and 500 female farmers. Rice, about 900 hectares have been put to cultivation, and out of this, we have about 150 hectares that have also been affected. Groundnuts, about 6,000 hectares have been put to cultivation, 2,000 affected, and out of this, we have 800 farmers who are male, and then we have about 2,000 farmers who are female and are affected.
The Deputy Director of the Center for Indigenous Knowledge and Organizational Development, CICOD, Daniel Benuku, has called for urgent government support to alleviate the plight of farmers.
And every politician is looking for an opportunity to look good in front of the voters. But we want to sound a word of caution that should we exploit a situation like this where farmers are genuinely and severely impacted for political gain. I believe that the intervention is the right thing to do, because that is what every responsible government is supposed to do. The only challenge we have is that we need to begin, unlike the way we have always done our targeting in the agriculture sector, this time we need to be very, very, to disaggregate the data in terms of who farmers are, because that will allow us to do proper targeting and ensure that the benefits that we send to farmers are actually responsive to the challenges that they have as we speak today. But beyond that, we need to make bold commitments to adapting sustainable agriculture practices, bold commitments to adapting climate mitigation and adaptation practices that can bring us long-lasting resilience, to the extent that even when we are confronted with these situations, farmers are able to bounce back and respond to the shocks that are within the system.
In addition to the Lembuse district, other areas affected by the dry spell in the Upper West region include Sisala East, Sisala West, Nandong, Wa East, and Laura. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adan has requested approval for 500 million Ghana cedi from the contingency fund as part of emergency response measures to address the imminent food insecurity. The government has imposed a ban on the export of grains due to the ongoing dry spell affecting the northern parts of the country. However, the Minister of Food and Agriculture has hinted a possible lift of the ban on the export of grains by November this year.
You know that it looks like all our neighboring countries, nobody is allowing grains out. So we'll monitor the situation, but we believe that we will come out of this situation by November.
8 regions have so far been affected by the dry spell, according to the Ministry of Food and Agriculture. Ibrahim Wangara, TV3 News, Upper West.
You're still watching the morning news here on TV3 with me, Godwin Asideba. Despite passing the Right to Information Bill, Ghana has ranked 70 out of 125 countries on the ease of accessing information on the central government budget. An open budget survey also scored Ghana 40 out of 100 in the transparency of releasing documents to the public.
The report, published by Send West Africa and International Budget Partnership, indicates that Ghana has decreased the availability of budget information. The survey covered transparency of central government budgets, citizens' participation, and budget oversight. On the budget oversight report, it showed that Ghana scored 28 out of 100, indicating a weak oversight.
Are they pursuing documents, for example, audit reports? To what extent are the Parliament interrogating the executive budget proposal before the budget is approved? Sometimes even how the executive move budget lines from one expenditure item line to the other, usually we know the executive component does that before they even get Parliament approval, which is why we are saying that Parliament actually needs to sit up when it comes to them playing their oversight responsibilities.
Meanwhile, Country Director of Send Ghana, Harriet Ajima, recommends, among other things, engagement with civil society organizations in the implementation of budgets.
When you generate the resources, you have to let the people know that, well, I took this revenue from you to do A, B, C, or D, you know, and you have to get their input in terms of what they want you to use those resources for. That is, you have
You're welcome. More on your election command center. The flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, says he will change the way passports are acquired in the country if elected. During his Greater Accra regional campaign tour on Sunday, he said anyone seeking to acquire a passport will only have to pay the required fee and the passport will be issued if the person already has a Ghana card.
Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, along with party executives, visited 4 constituencies to campaign for votes ahead of the December 7 polls. The delegation first visited the Wejagbawe constituency, where the NPP flag bearer visited 5 churches. Dr. Bawumia tasked the public to pursue peace during this electioneering season.
What we need in Ghana now is prayers because we are going into an election. Election is about exercising of one's opinion. We don't want any violence to mar it.
In the Anyasu constituency, Dr. Bawumia met and greeted residents, discussing his manifesto promises with them. He later held a rally to outline his vision and direction for the country. Parliamentary candidate for Anyasu Elder Emmanuel Tobin promised that the NPP would secure 75% of the total valid votes in the constituency.
You and I must work hard towards the elections ahead of us. We have to work even harder to give the New Patriotic Party 75% vote in this constituency.
We are not giving NPP anything less than 75%.
Dr. Bawumia stated that his next administration would reform the process of acquiring passports in the country.
Application, easy.
When I win power in December, passport acquisition will be very easy for all because with your Ghana card, you will only require the passport will be printed for you. You will not need to fill any form again.
He also took a job as his main contender, John Dramani Mahama.
Enye 24-hour disco so na yehwehwe ewa Ghana ha.
We don't need day-old chicks, neither do we need 24-hour discotheque in Ghana. We rather need minds that can proffer solutions to complex problems.
In the same constituency, the vice president engaged TESCON members of the Pentecost University, as well as chiefs and grassroots supporters of the NPP. The NPP campaign team also visited the Obum Domiabra and English Amanfrom constituencies, encouraging eligible voters to support the NPP in the upcoming elections. Stanley Niblew, TV3 News, Accra.
Parliamentary candidate for Dom Kwabenya, Michael Aaron Okoye Jr. addressed the Dom Kwabenya constituency during the inauguration of the campaign team, emphasizing the importance of unity and positivity as they prepare for the upcoming elections. He highlighted the new energy and enthusiasm he has brought to the constituency, particularly noting the impact of recent events such as Dr. Bawumia's visit. Okoye Jr. also expressed confidence in his ability to continue this momentum, promising that his leadership will bring tangible results.
The campaign launch and the inauguration of the campaign team in Dome Kwabenya. And so as a party, we met, we've chosen some people, they were sworn in. First of all, the oath of office, and then after that, the oath of secrecy. And now they are committed to the cause. But of course, in the meantime, we need to uplift our spirits. We need to feel very positive about the work we are going to do. One of the things I promised this constituency was that if by the grace of God, they elected me as the parliamentary candidate, I was going to bring a new energy to the constituency. And that is what you saw today, and that is what you saw on Thursday when Dr. Bawumia visited the constituency, and that is what you are going to see, God willing, in the near future. So that is what it was generally about today. But of course, we have to take the opportunity to give the people a message that they will take into the neighborhoods, a message that they'll remind Ghanaians of, and that is what I espoused on the stage. For me, I will just go into the saying that says, Eba neyo, You do it when you are there. So by the grace of God, these were all just snippets of what I am doing before I come. And if by the grace of God I'm nominated or voted for, then we'll see the rest. But as you can see, seeing is believing. You saw the energy here today. I don't think we've ever seen this in Dome Kwabena before, and we hope to continue in that same vein.
We talk security now. In the small town of Bole, residents are living in fear as a wave of mysterious murders continue to claim lives. While the deaths have left families traumatized, residents have had to live in fear as movement at night has been restricted. My colleague, Christopher Mwako, has more.
According to the 2021 Population and Housing Census, the Bole district's population was 115,800 between 2022 and July 2024. 22 persons from the Bole community mysteriously died with some of their body parts missing. 65-year-old father of 7, Yahaya Jaja, was the last victim to die in such mysterious circumstances.
Pit you see behind me happens to be the place where the last body that was allegedly killed and deposited was recovered or retrieved by residents.
His alleged killing brought back traumatic memories of murders some few months ago. I have come to the home of 65-year-old Yaya Jaja, one of the victims of the mysterious deaths in Bole. His family are still traumatized by his killing.
We were just there and they called that they killed him unexplained. And the people who killed him, we don't know. Up to now, we are still looking up to how we can see those who do that.
They want justice.
It's seriously a very big worry for the whole community. As we speak, it is just like a self-imposed curfew that we have imposed ourselves to, because we don't know how to solve the situation. And so we are calling on you all to come to our aid, to help us. The children are many, and the family is a very large one. Jaja family is a very large family.
As the police struggle to find leads, the community is coming together to support each other.
So for me, I still want to appeal to this assembly, to the traditional rulers, and to my good self, that the young men who are going around doing what they're doing, we need to commend them. We need to commensurate the effort that they are making.
Between 2022 and August this year, some 22 persons in the Bole community lost their lives mysteriously. Now, in a bid to avert further deaths in the community, the Bole District Assembly installed several street lights on the principal streets of the Bole community.
But residents say that is not enough.
2 months now call off. What the faha no ha nyina mamu say no light. The bia be corner bia na oyesu enti eya omutumi koku obia enhu.
A youth group in Bole, known as the Concerned Citizens of Bole, staged a protest to demand an end to the bizarre and unexplained killings in the Bole community.
To draw your attention to the serial killings in the Bole district and to demand swift action from your outfit to restore peace, order, and hope in our community.
Bolewura Kutuge Feso the First, paramount chief of the Bole traditional area, though worried, believes the perpetrators will soon be arrested.
Predecessors witnessed such a thing, but it's on the ascendancy during my reign. So it's a source of worry to me I'm in daily touch with the security outfits. So whatever support that we have, whether it is physical, financial, we'll try in our own small way, at least, to make them happy here.
The deployment of a team of experts to Bole and its environs by the police administration to support the regional police command to unravel reported cases of unnatural deaths in the town over the last 6 months has been hailed as contributing to reducing the number of deaths. With the police presence, there is emerging hope among residents that just one day the perpetrators will be found and prosecuted. Christopher Marco, TV3 News, Bole.
And that's how we end the morning news here on TV3. My name is Godwin. For more news updates, kindly log on to 3news.com. New day continues shortly. See you soon.